We got something else. I can't remember what it was. We start to appreciate brands like Poland Spring, because I was just looking for Poland Spring. It just wasn't there. It's like, okay, now I gotta drink Deer Park water and shit.
That's nasty work.
It wasn't. I mean, for that, it's like,
I think Poland Spring is mid though. I'm not gonna hold you.
why would you
but
think that?
It's mid
How?
because it's not as good as the upper echelon of water.
What's the upper echelon
But
of
it's
water?
like the gatekeeper. You know what I mean?
It's like the LeBron James of water.
Yeah, like it's well, no. LeBron James is great. It's good. That's what my stand like. That's the standard. That's what my standard.
It's like
is.
KD among the greats. He could be at the table, but he's like towards the end.
You're a what's the water? The Essentia? You're an Essentia guy?
I like Essentia. Fiji's cool, a bit overrated. I'm big alkaline water guy.
That's the one.
Hey, vodka and a water bottle, you can't really tell the difference.
Listen,
You know what
man,
I'm saying?
you a real alcoholic, you gonna know the difference. I wouldn't know that, but I'm just saying. But
sounds like you know about that.
Nah, I don't know nothing about that. Yeah, and I don't know.
We heard about what you was doing in Cali.
What was I doing in Cali?
You want to
all that non-alcoholic beer?
Tell the people what you was doing in Cali.
That non-alcoholic beer.
Shirley Temples.
Nah, I was drinking Heineken Zero. I was drinking non-alcoholic Corona. I had like 4 of those in one night.
You really believe that it's like 0% of alcohol?
That's what it is.
The 0.1%.
Yeah, nah, it's 0. Don't John me. It's 0. That's what that's false advertising if it's not.
Buddy saw that we were recording and started lying. So
now I got a picture of it though. I got a picture of the non-alcoholic Corona.
Do you have a picture of you being a Celtics fan in California?
How was I gonna have that? Why are we back to this?
No, I was just asking.
No, I'm asking you a question. Why are we back to this?
I was just curious. I wanted to know.
No, I'm curious too. I want to know how we ended up back here.
You haven't showed us any pictures
because I didn't have it.
So you're saying
no? I'm not saying I would. No. I don't want to hear your question. I don't want to hear your question.
I'm trying to seek better understanding.
No, I don't want to help you understand not a goddamn thing.
I'm trying to understand.
No, we're not doing this.
Why not?
Get your iced coffee, have it, whatever. Do your thing.
Shaking espresso.
Bougie. I know somebody like that.
I have standards. Talk louder. The mic.
I said, and I thought I was the white guy in the group.
Any comment?
You still are. Like, what are you talking
I
about?
don't drink Starbucks at all.
You work in a park.
Yeah, and I'm making more money than you right now.
That's fair, but that's like the whitest thing ever.
It is mainly white. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Yo, this park ain't got no sense of DEI, bro. They don't know what those letters stand for.
We actually.
I'm not gonna lie.
Brennan, they need you.
Hey, y'all hiring?
You want a summer job? I could get it for you.
Hey, wait, we might have to talk offline because I'm dipping into my savings right now, so we might
spend money on concerts that he forgets about.
Yeah,
he's gonna be like, "Oh, where's this $100 I'm missing?"
Oh,
it's way more than $100.
Listen, man, I gotta see my dog. I'm going to an Isaiah Rashad concert. That's my favorite artist since I was like 13, 14. So, and it's the 10th anniversary of his first album.
Okay.
So you're like a real fan.
That's been his guy for years.
Like you've been there for the beginning of
13. I was there for the first album.
As soon as he said Isaiah Rashad, that's why I was like, all right, like that's cool because I know that's his dog.
Yeah.
That negates everything S was about to say. Be like, you fake, you know.
No,
you
for real, it
fake.
really did. Like I was so ready to call him out, but he said Isaiah Rashad. I said, "I." That's the only scapegoat
Yeah.
that you could have had.
That's like-
Anybody else, I'd have
That'd
been
be
like,
like
"Nah."
if John got a free trip to Boston and like a first row seat to the Celtics here.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
dropping everything and going.
It could be like my wedding. I'd understand
That's like
if you
John,
couldn't
that's
take.
Nah, but you wouldn't put your wedding near the NBA championship. Let's be real. I don't care how much money you save it on
Shorty
that.
walking down the aisle. I'm on Stream East. Like
Dog, there was a video on Instagram that came out like that. He was walking down the aisle and somebody said Celtics lost and he was so tight. And then he had to walk back. He walked down the aisle. He was like it was coming down and he leaned over to his boy. He was like, "Oh, the Celtics lost." He was like, "Oh man." And then you have to keep going. I would be like, if somebody told me the Celtics lost, mind you, I wouldn't do a wedding in the middle of the season. But if somebody told me the Celtics lost a big game during my wedding, I'd have a bad wedding, bro. I would like until the reception. The reception I'm getting now.
This guy
But
would probably be like, excuse me for a second. They're like, we have to postpone the groom's missing.
nah, for real. Like I would
it's
be
like,
I'll be in the bathroom crying. Like if it was a championship, oh my god.
that'd be so funny because I just imagine like Shorty takes off like the little veil or whatever, and you're like just like chilling. The Celtics lost.
Then he starts crying. Yeah.
And then you just see the tears in the eyes.
Nah, bro.
And
If
everyone's
that's
like, oh, the tears of you know, you cry when you see them.
if it was like a game 7, mind you, this wouldn't happen. I wouldn't allow this to happen. But if it was like game 7 of the NBA finals and I'm about to get married and somebody told me the Celtics lost, I would like scream out in pain like somebody shot me. I would like walk out of the church. I would go into a bathroom and just start screaming.
The good thing is though, by the time you get married, they're gonna suck again. So
Nah, cause that's what 10. That's probably about 10 years. Like within the next 10 years, I don't think they're gonna be bad in the next 10 years.
Tatum will be like what 35 by then. Brown will be what 36.
Yeah,
They probably wouldn't be on the
still-
team.
why they don't gotta be on the team?
I guarantee
There's a good
one
chance
of them will
Tatum-
not be on the team in 10
Tatum
years.
will probably be a Celtics lifer.
The way they push him, yeah.
I'm calling it early, but
I feel like Brown would be the guy.
yeah.
Everyone thought Marcus Smart was gonna be that guy. And Marcus
Oh,
Smart
he
got
has something for
traded.
life.
Yeah.
So it's not always up to you.
Did I ever tell y'all Marcus Smart is one of my favorite players?
Stop it.
Well, he's gonna say that now.
I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear
Watch
you.
if Tatum ever leaves,
But you-
guys. I love Tatum.
But you know why he's one of my favorite players?
Because he's not a Celtic anymore.
No, it has nothing to do with
That
that.
was
Oh,
a fucking
alright.
answer.
He's one of the funniest players to watch play basketball.
That's very true.
In the sense that like who Marcus Smart thinks he is in his head
He's like
and
a
who
better
Marcus
at that.
Smart actually is on the court is like the funniest thing ever.
On defense, like
I'm-
7 or 8 times out of 10, he's him.
I'm talking
Outside of that, I don't expect him to do anything crazy.
I love it. I'm watching the clock wind down, end of a quarter, and Marcus Smart. You see Tatum, you see Brown. Hey, this man Marcus Smart. Clear out. I love it, bro. Oh my gosh. Marcus Smart possessions is like crack, bro. I love watching him on offense. Oh, it's so great.
That's how I feel about Jordan Poole.
Oh,
I
my
wish
gosh.
Jordan Poole would get more nationally televised games.
He needs
He
it.
needs it,
He
bro.
ruined it for himself.
Like, nah, they should have certain players just get nationally televised games. He's one of them.
Yeah.
Another one is probably like
We
JaVale McGee back in the day should have had a bunch of
Yeah.
nationally
Yeah,
televised
JaVale McGee
games.
is fun.
Shaq in the pool
Oh.
was his
That pretty
prime
much,
time.
yeah.
If we're talking some of the funniest big men to watch, Andre Drummond
Andre Drummond was pretty
on
funny.
offense. But it's like whenever he's trying to handle the ball,
Bro,
pull
Andre Drummond
something.
funny, bro.
like what did you think was gonna happen?
Dude, did you know that he's only like 28, 29 years old?
No way. He's got to be 30.
He's got it.
No, bro, look it up. He's not. I don't think he touched 30 yet.
That's sad.
I would say he's 30.
I don't think he touched 30 yet. I think he's on his way to touching 30.
He's 30 right now. He'll be 31 in August.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. But still, I'm thinking this dude's in the league for like the last 20 years. This dude has not been in the league that long.
Probably 10
When he
years.
get drafted?
I would say at least 10 years.
I feel like I've known him ever since like I really was into basketball, like 2011.
Yeah.
I mean, even that kind of makes sense. He would have been like 18-ish. Like,
But that's what I'm saying. It's like this dude is only 30, 31. This dude feel like he's been in the NBA like all of my life. Like
He's
it's time to retire.
He's one of those vets that doesn't feel like a vet.
LeBron, who's 39 years old, right? Oh, he should keep going. Andre Drummond, 30. He's got to retire, man. He's got to retire.
Dude, Drummond looks and plays like an old man. LeBron still drops a 20-point triple-double here and there.
I mean, he's also a center that can't shoot in today's NBA.
That's another reason for him to retire.
You still need a big body. Like if remember I told you OKC should have got him just for another big body. Could have been a different series.
Andre Drummond needs to go home and stay there. That's what it is.
He's one of those vets that doesn't feel like a vet.
I know
he doesn't. He's not a leader.
Like if I was in the locker room and Drummond, hey, young fella, you gotta stop. Like,
Yo,
I'm not bringing him in to like be the voice. I'm just bringing.
Unless you're telling me how to rebound, stop talking to me,
dog. I was watching Get Up today.
I feel like his answer would be tall.
Yeah.
I was watching Get Up today, and they had this man Udonis Haslem on there.
The GOAT!
And first off, I was like, what type of insight is he gonna bring to the table? Right? And then they start talking about Boston, and they was asking, like, oh, is it bad that they haven't been battle tested yet in the playoffs? He was like, it's really bad that they haven't been battle tested yet this playoffs. And I was like, yeah, because you've been battle tested in your career, right? Like for real, like you was battle tested trying to make sure you didn't sprain an ankle cheerleading on the side.
I was just like, he had this fight. Do I put on jumpsuit today? Do I put on street clothes?
Like, bro,
you gotta respect him, bro, because he's had a front row seat to a lot more basketball than we've ever seen.
Listen, let me be real with you.
I don't remember when the Heat first won with Shaq, but he played a little.
That was 2006.
He played.
But listen. If I could have been in Udonis Haslem's situation, getting paid millions of dollars just to sit there, I would do it.
No, you know who was truly like that? Patrick. What was his name? Pat McCaw. That was on the War. Remember, he was on the Warriors. They won. Then he went to Toronto. They won.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He never played.
He played in garbage time. But the thing about Udonis Haslem that gets me tight, how the hell are you gonna get on to this show, acting like you got all this basketball knowledge, and you were just a glorified cheerleader? Like the man's only was missing a pom-pom because he had his uniform.
Respect cheerleading. It's a hard profession.
Listen, man.
I want to give him more credit because he was good when they first won. During the LeBron era, he was just another force for them. Like the last 5 years of his career, I'll give you that. He didn't really do much, but
listen.
If we're looking at like overall his career, he had a good career.
We're not looking overall though. It's funnier to not look over. Stop adding context. I'm
not going to disrespect the man though.
Listen, I love cheerleaders, man. I will be the first to tell you I love cheerleaders, man.
What a dream is a cheerleader.
But I don't. Hey, Drew, she follows us.
So
if Udonis Haslem, never mind.
Listen. I don't love Udonis Haslem's type of cheerleader. I love the cheerleaders that's on the court, doing their little dancey dance and doing their thing, right?
So Udonis Haslem isn't like an all-time Miami Heat dancer?
No, not that type of dancer.
You don't think he first time all?
He's probably first. He's first all.
Think he learned how to dance?
Listen, he's first all cheerleader team, but not the type that I'm looking for.
I give that award.
Respect the Nazis.
What?
Respect the Nazis.
The Nazis got a tore his ACL cheerleading. That's so bad.
He's putting his body on the line.
That's so bad.
He's putting his body on the line.
How do you do that?
He's putting his
The Nazis would not be in the league if it's not for Giannis.
So he think about it. We praise guys like Russell Westbrook for getting on the court and giving it 110% every minute of the game. We should be giving that same energy to Thanasis because on the sidelines he gives it his everything.
But there's a difference.
Every game. He has nothing else to give.
Like this is gonna be his last.
He ain't got nothing to give.
I got him, John. Guys like Russell Westbrook do it for 20 minutes straight. Thanasis does it for 20 minutes all season combined.
No, he does it for 48 minutes on the bench every game. He's giving it his all on the sidelines. He celebrates every bucket.
I got you. Here's your water. Here's your water. Here's your towel. Here's your towel.
Yeah, on that note, I think it's time to.
On that note,
you know what he's doing.
Welcome back to another episode of the Convo, your favorite podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and most importantly, as you can see, nothing at all. I'm your boy John S. I'm back after an episode's absence.
A great episode's absence. It felt like a vacation apart.
Wow.
It was definitely the most unique episode.
Wow.
It was my favorite. Y'all go tune in and watch episode 8 because it was a blast.
Wow. Y'all not gonna introduce yourself? Y'all ain't.
The people know who I am. Big hashtag. You know the vibes. Welcome back to the show. I'm feeling good. We got S back, which is exciting.
Your boy John S. What's your name, bro?
I told him. Big hashtag.
Your name is Big Hashtag now?
Big hashtag. You know you can't just say. You gotta throw it up too.
I just had something. I'm not gonna say it though.
You trying to be like a Shaquille O'Neal?
Big hashtag. Oh, you talking about Big Shot?
Hey, are you a champion? You champion?
Yo.
And what's your name, Kai?
Anyways, you know what it is. Bizarro world, see, I'm infiltrating everything now.
Oh my god.
It's my world. You're just living in it. Exactly. Go ahead, give your little tagline.
You've just said it. That means I don't have to say it.
That's all right. W manipulation. That's all right.
It's working, see?
Wait, so Tom, you never gave us who's your favorite player?
My favorite player?
To watch.
Oh man.
For all the wrong reasons.
For all the wrong reasons. Who's my favorite player to watch? I mean, he's a good player, but I hate, this is more of a hate. I hate watching Tyrese Halliburton. I hate his shot so much. It shouldn't work. It should not work.
It's ugly.
I don't disagree.
Honestly, I think it's worse than Sean Marion's. Like, I can tolerate Sean Marion's. I don't know why.
No, but at least Halliburton's one goes in the bucket. Like Marion, like only for a couple years it goes in the bucket. Yeah, but not because of him.
At least he plays defense.
That's fair. I'll give you that. No, but that has nothing to do with his jump shot.
Like to watch, that's like trash, basically. That's hard, man. I really only watch Knicks games, and I don't consider they don't play the trash players. Tibbs don't play them.
You know who?
I guess Thanasis. Like I like you said, I like his hustle. And when he scores, it's like, oh my god, the crowd goes crazy.
I love it.
Yo, it's Thanasis, the Kobe Bryant of Brian Scalabrine.
I don't know about that.
He might be.
He might be the Ant-Man.
Thanasis in Milwaukee is like Kobe in China.
He's like J.R. Smith in China. Wasn't he like MVP or something?
Bro. Stephon Marbury.
Hey.
Oh, J.R. Smith. That's a good one. Call timeout.
Smith is fun because he'll take the most ridiculous shots and make them and then miss like open shots.
Yeah.
And then do stupid things. What was it? It was they didn't have a timeout.
They didn't have No. He didn't try to call that timeout. He just ran off the clock.
Yo, I love that meme with LeBron.
S loves J.R. Smith because he went to Cali and said anything was possible.
That's not what I said.
That's
not what I said.
He doesn't want to talk about it on the pod.
Did you do 18 holes with him? You know how he's a golfer now?
I heard about that, but no, I didn't.
He went back to school to become a golfer.
Yeah, so he went back to school, I heard about that. That was so weird. It's like, bro, he probably could make a lot of money now just doing a podcast if he wanted to.
He wasn't that.
JR, hit us up. You want to be on the Convo?
Listen, man, we got a lot to talk about. I still gotta digest how the hell you did that back in 2018. I would love to know your thought process on that.
Yeah, we'll have our people review your application.
Yeah, our people will get in touch with your people, and then
we
we'll
got
figure it
NBA
out.
champion, 6th man of the year, golfer, now a college graduate, I think.
Yeah.
Wow, he really went.
That's more than me.
He really went from peak to the bottom of the mountain slowly. NBA champion.
I mean, but
what was the next thing you said? He was 6 man first.
Well, first he was NBA player, then he had to go overseas, so he made a comeback.
Okay.
And then he became 6th man of the year, champion, and then just a role player eventually. But then he wanted to better himself. I don't know what college he went to. He went to college though. Picked up golf. I heard he was good, but I don't know. I don't know golf.
Yeah,
pretty solid.
All right.
So good.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Good for him. Let's give it a round of applause. Good for him getting an education.
So y'all heard that Tom Brady said his cousin, I think her name is Maya Brady, is the best athlete in the Brady family.
What? What sport she play?
Softball.
Interesting. Like,
I'll take his word for it. I didn't really watch her highlights, but
okay. All right. So we just hate women's sports. Okay, cool.
What do you? I didn't even say anything. I didn't get a chance to say nothing.
Oh, my bad. Say something.
I was gonna ask you, like, how do you feel that's an accurate statement? Have you seen her highlights, things of that nature?
Yeah, Brandon. Yeah.
Oh well,
what's your batting average, if you know what that is?
I'm a baseball softball casual.
Okay.
So
what position does she play?
If I said the position, you would just take my word for it.
But I know the position, so if you were like making up shit, I know if you were lying or not.
That's true.
Yeah, but if I just say a baseball position, you would just have to believe me. Do you know one? What's wrong with you?
You're gonna name one? We've been sitting here for 2 minutes.
All right. So, anyways, y'all, welcome to the pod. We got a lot of good content for you guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
He don't know ball.
How we all feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks that we got, tomorrow's basically Monday, but.
Well, I mean, tomorrow's Tuesday, but yeah, I mean.
Yeah, but I gotta go back to work, so it's like Monday.
Yeah, well. You got a short week.
Yeah. I do, but I also didn't have a 3-day weekend. But that's nice. I had some nice overtime yesterday.
Oh, nice.
And we got to go back to work, remember?
You don't just start tomorrow. You gotta apply. You gotta go on the interview.
What are we paid hourly? So we gotta make the pod longer, man.
That's true. I mean, if y'all noticed recently, the pod has been a lot longer. So there's a reason for it. There's a method to our madness. It's not just random.
Also, if you haven't noticed, we traded one S for another S. Sanguini's not here, but we got John S.
Bad joke.
Shout out no, never mind.
Yeah.
Only we don't shout out because it was planned on. We were all 4 of us were gonna do it, but then literally, like you said, a half hour before. Oh my bad, guys! I forgot. My mom's having me do errands all day.
Bro, and it wasn't even the fact that he said it like a half hour before. I sent the text like, yo, I'm gonna get some Starbucks real quick. After I come back to the crib ski, y'all are valid to pull up, right? It'll take me like 10 minutes. Then like 5 minutes later, about that, I gotta run errands with my mom. She's making me run errands and I gotta leave by 6 and blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right.
He's like, I'm not gonna say he's screwed, but when he's leaving per se, it's like when the rain's supposed to be worse.
That's true.
Oh, that's God's punishment right there.
That's God's plan. That's not even a punishment.
I was just thinking that too.
I prayed for this and it happened.
We're going back to the evil thoughts like last episode.
Listen, man. I don't understand. Because at least I told y'all when I knew, like, all right, I'm not going to be available. So I told y'all, all right, my bad, I'm not gonna be available. I'm at this event, this, that, and the
I
third.
will say
Y'all just go and do
I
your
will
thing.
say though, he was like, "I'm gonna try to, but I might not."
Exactly. I told y'all that because I
This
told y'all I
dude
had an
Sadu
event.
said, "Oh, one's gonna be good for me."
Yeah, one should be good, but I'll let y'all know. Lets us know a half hour before. Like, bro, we was already in the studio. Like, we was already ready to go. Like, we was already chopping it up,
Brendan
different
had the
things we was gonna
tunes on,
do.
you know.
Yeah,
had
like
a
we was
pregame.
vibing. Yeah, it's like now we gotta change up the whole plan for the episode, and it's just like it's just inconvenient, you know. You know what I mean? It's just like it's just unprofessional. You know, like we already made it this far. I think we'd have established like a code of honor if that makes sense. You know,
Or,
We
you know
haven't
what I
even
mean?
done a full show yet.
you know what it kind of what the behavior is kind of giving off?
What?
Fraud vibes.
You know what? It has been a while since we done a little fraud watch. You know what I'm saying? I think we should reestablish the fraud watch segment. Yeah, that's exactly what we gonna do.
We
Yeah.
let a lot of frauds been walking around here
Yeah.
since we talked about it. So
Yeah.
You know what we gotta do? We gotta make its own little sketch and put Sadu as the cover for
That's
it.
what I'm
Fraud
saying,
watch.
bro. Like, it's time for this little segment called Fraud Watch. I don't know if y'all remember it because it's been a while, but essentially we just try to point out things that's fraudulent, not real, trying to seem one way, but it's really another type stuff. And I think Sanguini really fit in that bill.
I think I got a good example. So we thought this summer he was going to be in the valley, right? All pretty much all summer, besides work. That's what he said, right? As far as I can remember, he said,
Talk your stuff.
I'm going to be in the valley unless something for work comes up." John texts us. He said, "You guys want to do something?" He said, "Oh, I'm not here."
It was crazy because I was like, all right, I'm coming back. I'm gonna be back in town, for the foreseeable future. This, that, and the third. I want to see my mans in them. I said, yo, what y'all doing? Let's get together. Let's do something. He said, yeah, man, I'm not home. I'm like, what you mean you not home? Like you told me you was gonna be home. You ain't say you was going nowhere. He was like, yeah, but I'm gonna be out. I'm gonna tell y'all when I get back. What? Like, how you going? Like, does that make sense? Is it just me? I don't understand.
Oh, it's incredibly nasty behavior.
Talk your stuff, right?
Incredibly nasty behavior. And what makes it worse is that last pod we crucified us. We flamed him. We went in on how much of a bait he was.
Unjustly.
Justly.
Unjustly.
Justly.
Unjustly.
He went from John back to S.
We really like. I thought we all had an agreement about what it means to be committed, what it means to be here, what it means to be loyal and rock solid for the pod. And then he turns around and baits himself. Saboteur, I tell you. Saboteur.
And listen, I told these guys, listen, I might not be able to do it, for last episode, but I'm gonna try because I had an important work event coming up that I had to network myself, make connections so I could better my future and my career. Right? Which I did, by the way. Just saying. And then I told them when they was ready, I said, listen, I'm not gonna be able to do it. But since y'all are already there and y'all are ready to go, y'all can just do it without me. I gave them full notice. I told them they're good, go on, do it without me. Sadu, on the other hand, or Sanguini, I'm sorry. Sanguini came up and said, yeah, bro, I'm not gonna be able to do it. But he ain't give us time.
Which is fair. Stuff comes up,
He didn't give us time. And it's not even about the time. It's like, you wasn't going to tell us that unless we mentioned it in the group chat. And that's what really grinds my gears, man. It's just like, it goes back to professionalism, wanting to be here, being committed, like Big Hashtag said. And it's like, if you don't want this, it's okay. Just let us know, right? So whenever you see this, if this isn't something you want to go into, if you don't want to venture off into, that's okay. Everybody has their thing. Just communicate with us, I think it was episode 1 where we talked about the importance of communication. And I feel like we've come so far from that point, except for Sanguini. And it's crazy to me, man. I don't know, man. But you know what? I'm going to let it be.
I will say, though, we've had our differences, but I will shout out big hashtag. He's been here 9 straight weeks. What episode 9 this is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm like Wilt Chamberlain, low key. I'm dropping 50 a night. I'm leading the league in minutes played, and I'm playing all games, every game, the entire season. This is nasty.
There's one difference. You're not bagging 100. You're not bagging.
Nah, let me stop. Nah, that was crazy.
But listen, it's just, if I'm not going to be here, there's a reason that I'm not going to be here, right? And I try to give y'all as much notice as possible. You probably averaging most games played, most minutes per game.
It's the Michael Bridges right now.
But I think
like 100 straight games.
I think I'm averaging the most points and maybe the most assists. I'm not gonna lie. I set y'all up pretty good.
You think you're Tiny Archibald?
Nah, I think I'm like the Magic Johnson of this team. You could be the Kareem. Whoa. You could be the Kareem.
He just said Wilt, so.
I think, or yeah, if you want to be Wilt, I don't know who Wilt played with. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I don't know if he played with Jerry West. Did he play with Jerry West? All right, so I could be Jerry West, and you could be Wilt. I won Finals MVP, but that's not the point.
You're more like a Rondo, I think.
In a loss.
That's partially your fault too.
Wouldn't Thomas be the best? Wouldn't Bizarro be the best Jerry West?
Because he lost?
No, because
I kind of knew where he was going, but
never mind.
Listen, I could be the wrong. Listen, I always compare
Scalabrine, man.
I always compare myself to Rondo,
but I can't.
This is fair. I always viewed myself as like a Rajon Rondo type dude. I can't shoot, but I'm gonna give it my all. I'm gonna set up my teammates. I'm gonna do my thing.
I feel like Bizarro would have been cold in like segregation era hoops. I feel like you would have been nasty in the 50s. You would have been filthy back then. I'm not gonna lie.
They would have.
They never seen anything like your game out there.
Yo, somebody I don't want to say what I was.
They be talking. You know how all he's quick as a fox. That Bizarro, he's quick as a fox.
I don't know. He shoots the ball and it goes in.
Bizarro with the bucket, 2 points.
Came into Ellis Island.
And then
never seen in this country before.
Yo,
we've never seen anything like it. He calls it a crossover.
Before Bill Russell, right? When guys like Bill Russell used to play, when the referees would call fouls on them, they didn't call it like fouls like how we had it, like personal foul, technical foul, stuff like that.
Fouls back then was assault.
Yeah, they just called it Jim Crow. That's what it was back then. Did you know? I didn't know that. Did you know that? I didn't know that.
Wait, you're being serious?
Yeah.
Oh, nah, I thought that was for the joke.
I was like, come on.
Man. No, I'm joking. I'm actually joking.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
But you see how I told it like I meant it?
Listen,
you never heard a lot.
The way the 50s was set up,
I would hold it.
I believe it.
I would hold it against them.
I don't know if you guys ever saw Seinfeld, but there was an episode where like the bald guy, he's like, it's not a lie if you believe it.
I'm telling you,
just always go through life like that. It's not a lie if you believe it.
Listen, man, they was getting creative with their racism back then. Like,
100%.
Yo, you hear some of the whatchamacallit, the discriminatory terms they was calling people?
Which one?
Like them joints was funny, yo.
Which one? Which one are you thinking about?
Oh, listen, like they got creative.
You can say it. It's okay.
I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying.
He can't say it.
If listen, there could be older people who watch the pod I don't want to be insensitive to them.
That's fair. That's fair. We
You
do
know?
have a wide demographic here, so I understand. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, but they was getting creative.
Oh yeah,
You know how creative you gotta be to be like, nah, you can't use that fountain,
dude. It's like
a water fountain.
listen,
Guy,
that's
what?
the thing was. It's like, what was so special about this water fountain, right? That they couldn't use it, right? Or whoever couldn't use it, but that one was like made for you. Like that was perfect for you.
You know who would be good in this discussion? Faham.
No,
You know he does his research.
I don't know. Listen, Faham, friend of the chat, he will never be on this podcast ever in life.
No, he should be on the podcast.
No. I'm trying to stay on the mainstream.
Listen, I know I'm averaging every game, but he could gladly have my seat.
If we ever reach a point where we just like want to end it, but not want to end it, we'll just bring him on.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. When it's time for us to end this in a very long time from now, it's not happening anytime soon. Yeah, literally, yeah.
No comment. Don't give me the mic. Don't give me, because you know exactly what you did. They don't know, but you know.
Well, who are you talking about? Me or
you?
I didn't say like with the intention.
Oh, he would have been nice in segregation. He would have been filthy.
Once you gave me the look, I was like, oh, I see what I did. Like
he would have been filthy back then.
Nah, racist by accident is probably the funniest form of racist.
I'm telling you, dude.
But nah, it's like he's one dude. Like that's my bro for real. I would never want him on this podcast. There's no disrespect, but if you know him, if you know, you know. Like that's it.
Here, I'll put it into perspective for you guys. We all have that one friend without a filter, for better, but usually for worse, right?
They ain't no for better in this one.
And it's like, you know, that's the homie. You love them, but you can't have them on certain platforms.
Any platform.
You have to distance yourself from them in certain things because your reputation is at stake.
All things.
By like being around them. You know what I mean? And so that's basically what Faham would be for us.
He does make our life interesting though. You know, we always get a laugh out of him.
Oh, 100%. Usually we're laughing at him, but that's not the point.
I wouldn't say we're laughing at him.
Nah, because of some of the stuff that he said. Well, I guess with him is a better word. Yeah, with him. He's not laughing. That's why I had to say at him, because it's like he don't laugh. Dude sent us a pic from graduation. He looked tight to be there. Like it was just like he's supposed to be celebrating that moment because he hates school. He absolutely loathes school, and now today's his day, or that day is his day that he gets to celebrate, that he don't have to go back ever in life, and he's still mad. Like I was trying, like not me, but I think it was you, maybe big hashtag. You was trying to figure out like why he was so mad. What did he say at that moment?
I don't even remember what he said for that, John.
I couldn't remember because I was
like he was tired or something.
Yeah, he was just mad. He was just big mad. Like
I was like, bro, why are you tight in your graduation photo?
So only him would be tight at that day, and I was like, come on, dog. Like this was the day. Like you prayed for times like this. Like we didn't know if you was ever gonna get. No. Let me stop. But Faham, you the bro for real. I just want you to smile more. You know, that's all I ask of you. I just want you to smile a little bit more. You know, that's it. You know.
Word, bro. Just attack Dog's whole character for 5 minutes, but end it with you the bro for real.
Nah, he is the bro for real.
Like we supposed to be cool after that.
He is the bro for real. That's my dog. He knows if he need me for something, I got him. He know that. He always know that. That's my guy. I ain't seen him in years, man. He been locked up somewhere. I don't know where it is.
We saw I don't know Ford's like graduation party.
How long ago was that?
Last summer.
You sure?
Right? Wasn't it last year when Ford left?
Bro, stop looking at me, bro.
That was last summer, but I was like,
right, I go to you because supposedly you know everyone.
That was like like
I
July
stay
though.
indoors.
Yeah.
That was like July.
So it's not even a year. And you're saying years like it's been like 3
It
years.
felt like that. It feels like that because Faham don't come outside.
Well, that's probably because the last time you saw him before that was like 2
yeah,
Would
yeah.
have been like 2-3 years ago.
I think the last time before that was probably 2021. Cause it was at your crib.
I think I've seen him this year. If not this year, I definitely see him like once a year.
Was it Sanguini that saw him recently somewhere? In a mosque or church or something?
I can't tell you.
I'm pretty sure I saw some message like that. But anyways, Faham, never change but change.
You will be on the show someday.
No,
Not today,
no.
not tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
That's
someday.
gonna be a solo episode.
Nah, we get you there. If he can be on the show, when I said no every single time, he could be on the Faham could be on the show.
This is you're comparing an apple to like I don't even know to television, bro. Like you ain't like you're not even comparing the same category of thing.
Yes.
No.
Why is he here?
What episode?
I haven't gotten a good enough.
Like a therapy session with me and Brendan. Like, where did this all start?
I haven't gotten a good answer yet.
What's the question?
Why is he here?
He provides comedic relief just like the rest of us. Right?
We need diversity.
We need diversity. Right? We can't look crazy.
2024.
We can't have reverse racism on here. Right? He brings an element that nobody else can bring to this table because
I'm the nothing, everything. What is it? Everything,
anything, and nothing. You're the nothing. I'm the everything. I don't know what y'all is, but
big hashtag.
See, I would have thought he's everything because he knows everyone.
That's just a rumor, guys. I really stay indoors. I read books as a hobby. I'm off.
What's your favorite book?
I can see you having like those grandma glasses. Like,
yeah.
What's your favorite book?
One of my favorite books.
Comics do not count.
One of my favorite books.
Manga does not count.
I don't read manga. All right, that's first of all.
Dr. Seuss.
Right. One of my favorite books that I read recently. It talked about like mass incarceration.
What's the name?
I got you right now. I just have to pull it up.
All right.
Who's the author?
I got you right now.
It wasn't that good a book.
It couldn't be that good a book.
Remember the name, the author?
I don't remember the name of half the things that I watch or consume, media wise.
What's your favorite TV show?
Oh, it's called The New Jim Crow: Mass Incarceration.
Wow, back to Jim Crow. That is insane. That's actually insane. Wow.
First of all, what made you think about that? And
Michelle Alexander.
Say that all one more time.
The New Jim Crow: Mass Incarceration in the Age of Colorblindness by Michelle Alexander.
What made it new?
Basically talking about how it's gonna. Are we trying to make this a depressive pod?
I just asked you what made it new.
What's the synopsis of the book?
It's basically saying how like
did Jim Crow change?
They're saying that after Jim Crow, this was kind of their way of using like of hurting the Black community.
What compels you to read this book?
Hey man, I'm trying to get, I'm trying to learn and be educated.
Rate it on a scale of 1 to 10.
I think it's an important book for people to read.
Did not answer my question.
An 8.
Okay. Why do you think that?
I think it's an important book for people to read. It's interesting. It's an interesting perspective, I think, and it gives a lot of good data behind what they're saying. And I believe there's a documentary based off the book as well. So,
will you be watching the documentary?
I watched it already.
How did you feel?
It was cool.
Close to the book.
Yeah, yeah. Based on the same information.
Was the book better or the documentary better?
Um, it's a good question. Documentary might be more palatable. It's shorter, you know.
Probably drawing more of a crowd because most people don't read anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Are you guys documentary people?
Yes and no. It
Does
depends on what the documentary is.
does The Last Dance count as a documentary?
Yeah.
Yes.
I seen a documentary the other day about crack cocaine in Jamaica, Queens.
How did you stumble upon this?
That's a great question. I have no idea. It just popped up on my YouTube
He was
feed.
in Queens.
Wait, hold on. It just popped up on your YouTube feed.
Yeah.
Interesting, because you know how YouTube and stuff works is that they put recommended videos based on what you've seen before or what you've searched. So I just find it very interesting. But did you watch that documentary?
I did watch the documentary, and I watched a lot of stuff about drug dealers and gang members and the mafia.
Just keeping his options open.
Is this as a learning? Is it learn about trying to figure out a career path? What's your reasoning?
Definitely not a career path.
Okay, so it's definitely an option.
Staying in school is the option.
He is graduated.
It's the
He
only
could go back
option.
to school if he wanted to.
You know, you never stop learning. It doesn't matter whether you graduate or not. But I think it's interesting, you know, how
Have you ever experimented with any of these drugs?
what drugs?
On any of the videos you've seen or documentaries?
No.
Have you ever thought about it?
I've never seen a drug before.
Who is your favorite drug dealer?
What's his name? There's a couple people.
El Chapo?
Nah, he's cool. He's just a little too popular.
Walter White?
I think.
Say it again.
Walter White?
I think Supreme is pretty cool. Who else is pretty cool? Supreme ran Queens, like Jamaica Queens.
I'm not familiar with his work.
In the Baisley projects. So I think his story is kind of interesting, and how it goes with the whole 50 Cent come up and all that stuff. There's the what's his name?
Oh, I got one. You say you never seen a drug before, right? Have you ever taken over a counter medication?
The original Crip, 2P Williams.
I got him.
Is I don't know if he actually dealt drugs. I know he probably did at one point, but his story is pretty cool too.
Have you ever taken over the counter medication?
What's over the counter medication?
Like from a pharmacy.
Like from a farm, yeah.
What is a pharmacy?
CVS, Rite Aid.
I just buy snacks from there.
So we're lying.
Are we lying? You asked me a question, I answered.
Don't you have allergies? You don't take anything for that?
No. If I took something for my allergies, wouldn't I not have allergies?
Not true.
How?
That's not how that works.
Like cure them forever.
Explain how that works.
Your type of allergies is like on steroids, so no.
What do you mean my type of allergies?
Your type of allergies.
For it.
What do you mean by my type of allergies? What are you trying to say?
You have allergies 365 days a year. You were crying right before we started this pod.
I could have been sad.
So when you have a cold, you just let it run its course, basically? You don't take anything?
All right. Y'all want the truth? Let me give you the truth. I'm going to give... I'm gonna put y'all on game. Modern medicine is a lie, right? It actually,
what's it called? What's it called? Like hallucinogens, stuff like that, or
so. Anyways, the human body was made to fight off disease by itself, right? And so, I think you don't need medicine. It's just a form of making you weaker.
But you've told me that you've taken medication for your headaches and such. So what are you really saying?
Oh, I lied then.
He's trying to make enemies with pharmaceuticals.
When I was younger, oftentimes I struggled to understand myself and to really be who I wanted to be. And so because of that, I would succumb to social pressure. And so I thought all these things, but I would tell other people that I took medication before. I'd tell other people that I took this for headaches. I'd look it up. What does this do? What do people take for this?
Yeah.
And I'd tell people that because society deems it that that's the appropriate thing to do.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to, be who, I was scared to be me.
Word.
And how people would take that.
Yeah.
So I decided to just bend the truth a little bit.
100%.
I'm not saying it's okay.
You were fraudulent.
I'm not
say.
I'm not saying it's okay. Yeah, I was at one point in my life, But
so you're a fraud?
I was a fraud, yeah. I mean, sure, if you want. But
so you're a fraud?
I was a fraud, yeah.
No. Are you still a fraud?
No.
Once a fraud isn't always a fraud?
I've never heard that saying before.
So if I went into your bathroom and opened the cabinet, would I find any medication?
I don't know. I haven't checked.
If I went into your room, would I find any medication?
I don't believe so.
Why'd you have to think about it?
Because I don't like dealing in absolutes.
What are you dealing?
Cards.
Got him.
I just said cards.
Word.
What kind of cards?
Poker cards.
I'm more of a Pokemon guy, but
you're a loser.
That was a bad joke. I'm not gonna count.
You're weird.
I was a Yu-Gi-Oh kind of guy, but
I was big Pokemon when I was 8.
Word?
Pokemon was the thing back in the day.
Pokemon, I could have never got into Pokemon.
What did Ash just become a?
Yeah,
Pokemon
he just became a
master?
champion. Yeah, I could have never gotten into that. The journey takes that
long.
I could have never got, bro. Yugi and the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh was the GOAT from episode 1. Ash was a loser since day 1. That's what he was.
Real question: what do you think their timeline was? So, like, it's been like 20 years since Ash's journey started. Imagine it's been like a year.
It's probably only been a few years because he looks exactly the same from what I've seen.
No, I'm pretty sure he's still 12.
No, really?
I stopped watching a long time ago.
Oh my god!
From what I've heard, he's still 12.
Oh my god, that's horrible. That's horrible storytelling. Like that's like.
I love how we go to drugs to like kid shows now.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Yu-Gi-Oh, like that was my show growing up. Naruto.
Yu-Gi-Oh was weird. I wasn't into it as much as like other things, but I always found it weird how he was a kid and then like he become an adult or something.
No, well, that's not what it was. So here's what happened, right? So Yu-Gi-Moto, right? He finds like this box or whatever, and it has pieces to a puzzle, right? It's called the Millennium Puzzle. So it looks like a pyramid when it's finished. He completes the puzzle, and when he completes the puzzle, it releases the spirit that's like of a pharaoh from Egypt that was like thousands of years old. And now in him is the spirit. So when he wears the puzzle, at any point, the pharaoh could take his place and, do whatever, but they would always have communication, like they could talk to each other, things like that. So Yugi was a very shy person. And the thing that made this relationship with the two of them so great was that the pharaoh was very outgoing, very mature, very much a leader, but he was also very what's the word? He was very harsh too. So the two of them were like polar opposites, and they like learned from each other over the years and helped both of them become better people. Mm-hmm. So when it was time to duel, right? Or any time to do something like big or be brave or whatever, they switch places because the pharaoh was very brave, very strong-willed, things like that. whereas Yugi was more reserved, very shy, very scared about things. So it was actually a very good connection between the two of them. And then in this game called Duel Monsters, they learn about life, they learn about people, um, becoming a better version of themselves, and it was a real good show. It was a good show. First season, don't worry about the rules and everything because the game itself in real life hadn't really been established. So everything you see in that first season just wasn't real. But it was a good show. It was one of the shows that got me really into anime. Naruto was another one, just like that. Those shows on CW and Cartoon Network and stuff. It was a good time. Waking up on a Saturday morning, Saturday night. It was good. It was good times. I still have Yu-Gi-Oh cards up to now, man. If anybody want a duel, I got them. I got them. I'm not ashamed to say that.
That was
I
like
still
me.
got cards, man. I still got a whole deck. Listen, man. I'm starting to make some money now. I'm trying to build like another deck.
Trying to buy more.
I'm telling you, I already listen, man. On my
No
phone,
way.
on my
He's gonna buy
phone,
the gauntlet that he put the
bro.
cards
I
in.
wish that was a real thing.
It is. My
The
brother had
no,
one.
no, no. The Dual Monster disc. They used to make them. They don't make them no more. I always wanted one of those. I always wanted one of those. And in the age of technology, we should be able to have the holograms that they had in the show that we can go and play Duel Monsters, play Yu-Gi-Oh, and it shows up when you put the card down. You summon the monster, it shows up in the hologram. We should be able to have that, dude. You think I'm joking?
It's called virtual reality.
Dude, you think I'm joking? I got it somewhere here, bro. Look, I got it. I know exactly what I want. I know how many of them that I want. It's right
Oh
there.
my god.
I know the deck that I want to build. I'm telling
You
you.
think Yuri
Oh
did it?
my.
I did that back. I edited it last year. I've had this since like 2019 or something, right? Like the cars don't cost money.
That's actually insane.
Like that's my show, man. Like everybody has their show, right? That was one of my shows that had me growing up, man. Taught me a lot. Taught me a lot about life. Back in like fourth
Battle
grade.
Monsters.
Yeah, back in like fourth grade, everybody was hyped up on Yu-Gi-Oh and Beyblade. That was the two stuff going on.
Talked about that last week.
Yeah,
Oh,
we did
word?
talk about Beyblade.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Beyblade was goaded too. Beyblade was
You know which
goaded.
one I like? I like Bakugan. That's like the only anime I ever got into.
Really? I mean, I could have
I-
never got into
I had
Bakugan.
the joint.
Me too.
I bought a Bakugan set before.
I think I have
I
a
had a
couple.
lot. Like I had like a case of them that I
Oh, really?
just like got rid of like last year.
Nah, Beyblade was it though. Like, I like that. But as I said, Yu-Gi-Oh's my show. Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds, like, that was a real good show. Like better than GX in my opinion. I think like you gotta listen to that theme song. When you listen to that theme song, you get hooked immediately. I promise you that. Like it's real good. That dude was like standing on business before standing on business was a thing. Him and the Pharaoh. They was standing on business long before that became a trend. But that was a good show.
Of course they do. You would probably love this conversation.
Was Sado a Yu-Gi-Oh guy? I don't think
Like,
so.
he's an
I have
anime
no
guy.
idea.
That's true. Sado love One Piece. I don't know. I heard y'all was talking about One Piece last thing.
He was pretty
Listen,
much saying he was like, I like it, but like he's like, I'm not because we were talking about like not forcing stuff on people,
yeah,
like shows, and he was like, I like One Piece. I would recommend it to someone, but if they don't watch it, they don't watch it.
yeah. Don't watch One Piece.
There's no
Don't do
need
it.
to watch that joint.
The show's been going on for like 20
They
years.
made a live action one. Just watch one.
He's
Oh.
never found the One Piece. Like
In
it's
his
1,000 episodes. Like it ain't no point of watching that.
People be like, oh, bro, like he already has the personal rights. It already has the ending in mind.
So end it.
I would say that too if someone asked me that. like at a convention
To
or
keep
something.
people moving.
Yeah,
Keep
no,
people watching
of
it.
course there's an end. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we got the end. It's gonna end. It's gonna end.
Hey,
Stay
just
tuned.
keep people to. Yeah, that's
The
a perfect
heck?
marketing scheme.
What are you talking about?
Like that, I could never get behind that show because it's 1,000 episodes. Like
Yeah, no.
Naruto was already pushing my buttons being 400. If I could watch that 2 more times, then I'll still be done before One
Listen,
Piece.
it's one thing if you caught the show at the beginning or middle ish and then rode the wave, right? y'all keep watching One Piece. I don't care. But if you're telling me you're gonna try and start it and binge it to catch up, do some push-ups, go outside,
Go to the gym.
you know what I mean?
Go to the
the
gym.
rest of your life.
Go for a run.
80-year life, hopefully.
Like,
Yeah.
do something, bro. Like, do something, because this is nasty.
That's how I feel about people speaking Spanish. Like, I'm like, yo, relax.
You understand it though now, right?
No, this too fast. I don't know what they say.
So you did 6 years of Spanish, including Memorial, and then you did Spanish in college, right?
I did Spanish too, so I didn't really count. I was just refining what I knew. But it's like it doesn't train my ears to listen to them speaking at hypersonic speed.
Linguistics is officially dead.
Listen, man, I can't, man.
What are you talking about, bro?
You retain the French that you learned from?
I didn't. I mean, like, obviously, like, there's a bajillion words that you learn. But I think if you remember the structure of how things are put together, you can remind yourself of the words and, like, learn the language. But if you're not using it every day, you're going to forget words. You know what I mean? Just like I can't tell you every term I learned in chemistry when I took chem. But I can remember the concept. So if you tell me what the name of the powerhouse of the cell is, I'll be like, oh yeah, I
Mitochondria.
know. Exactly, kind of thing, you know? So it's like, you give me like a month to like re-practice like the words and stuff. But I know the pronunciations, I know the conjugations, all that stuff. So it's like, I could jump back into it at any time.
Did y'all know that in France they call a oui a yes? Did y'all know that?
He's lying.
I'm so serious.
He's lying.
I'm so serious. They call a oui a yes.
The guy who took Spanish for most of his life, we're gonna trust him on a French fact.
No, look it up.
Maybe another time off camera.
I'm so
He's
serious.
Lying.
I don't believe you for now.
I don't believe you.
Why wouldn't they call it a yes?
Because yes is an English word.
Because we is spelled W-I-I.
But they call a oui a yes.
The French we is
that's their slang. That's their slang for it.
They don't call it that.
All right, bro. I'm trying to educate y'all, and y'all just don't. It's okay.
I stopped trying to do education 4 years ago.
This is fair.
That's why you work at a park.
Exactly.
Wow.
I don't have to use my brain. Got to use my muscles.
All right. All right.
The brain just went all the way to here. This is his brain now.
I don't know if the brain was there in the first place.
You gonna take that?
I mean, I didn't try, so I can't. You know, I took the John Ford approach. Man, I don't care. Literally, like my last 2 years at school at Central, I was just like, I don't care. You know, just give me the test.
So that's a fact. When I met this dude in 6th grade. This dude was one of the smartest dudes I'd ever met in life.
I wouldn't go that far.
No, seriously. You were one of the smartest dudes at that point that I had met. And then over time, I saw this dude slowly stop trying. He just started going like this. I was like, bro, what are you doing? And then he just like, yeah, bro, it's all right. Like, it's cool, whatever. I'm like, bro, like, okay.
But then you look at guys like Michael, who was always stressed in high school. I wasn't that stressed.
That's true. I mean, he's still stressed now, but like
Michael, friend of the show, John Ford, friend of the show, Central, the high school we went to.
Not a friend, foe.
Foe of the show. Yeah.
For context.
Actually, and I think like I don't want to talk about it now, but maybe when Sanguini's here, I think I got a good topic for a podcast. Is high school like I'm gonna say fake, but like is it useful? Is it useful? Is high school useful, basically?
Any comment?
You want to give a short answer now, and then maybe another episode we go into it?
No, we ain't gotta wait for Sanguini.
In what way?
Like, does it really bring you any success in life? Because they always say college is the place, right? because that's really where you pick a career and where you go more in depth into that career. Because
Yeah.
high school it's just like 1 plus 2, like it's not, but like you're learning the basic stuff. Like in college is like the taxes, all the real life stuff.
College, you ain't even learning tax unless you go into
But if you
that.
that's what I'm saying. And that's why when people ask me like, "How come you didn't finish school?" I was like, "I don't know what I didn't know what I wanted to do." I went to NASA. You know, I did the one year, and then that's when everything hit, and it was online. And then I'm an in person learner, so I found something where like I'm on the site, I can see what I'm doing, I learn what I'm doing. Liked it, got a job out of it, and that's gonna be my career. Not exciting, like not necessarily mid class, but middle of the pack, you know, pay wise. But I'm fine with it. You know, I get good insurance for it, and that's my career. But like people like who want to be a doctor, they like go to college. Like I'm not against college unless it's for certain people. Like if you don't know for sure what you want to do, either maybe try a trade, take a year off like people do, or just go find something else. Like and then don't waste your money, like don't waste your time. Because if you're
That's
not
fair.
really invested, you're not gonna
Yeah.
take anything from it.
Any comment?
No, I think that's fair. If you want to look at it from that lens, I look at it as like, high school is probably important, but for like different things. You know what I mean? Like, I think high school is kind of like the first kind of taste of you having to take things into your own hands. Um, you're not necessarily as handheld as you would be in like middle and elementary school. Like if you don't do your homework, if you don't want to excel, um, you also uh, typically are engaged in sports and other activities where you kind of learn to grow like your full self because not everybody starts something when they're 5. Some people join an art club, as a freshman and be like, oh, that's cool. Some people join a sport as a freshman and be like, oh, that's cool. And through that, they learn more about who they are, who they want to be, potential, what can they contribute to the world. Um, High school can give you access to better things to move forward. If you know you're going the college route and know what you want to do, taking things like AP classes or like the classes that give you college credits helps make that future step shorter, easier. Getting good grades or playing the sport really well helps you get into colleges for less money. So it kind of, it's like giving you coupons, so to speak. Even like things like depending on the school, like our school had things where you could get certified in Excel and Word and stuff like that. So now you can graduate and maybe you want to work in an office somewhere, be a secretary or something. But now you have that certification where like, it gives you kind of that leg up going into the workforce. So I think on that front it's cool. Um, so it depends on what you're thinking about in terms of growth. Like obviously career wise, I think probably not the most useful, but it's like, you know, you're 14, 15, 16, 17. I don't know that you should necessarily be 100% focused on what am I going to do for the rest of my life to feed myself and my family. That type of pressure, putting that on kids is why people struggle with college. So it depends on what you're looking for.
I think it's good in that you get exposed to different things so you could figure out what you like or at least have an idea of what you're good at. But then at the same time, I don't think it teaches you like you don't learn everything you need to know in high school. Like high school and college, you don't necessarily learn about life cuz like you don't know about buying a house or paying bills or those type of things, those important things. Um there's certain classes that'll teach you certain things, but like maybe like interest rates or things of that nature, but it's not like an in-depth course, or it's not something you're gonna necessarily remember after that because you're not gonna touch upon it again. I remember we had a class like that in 11th grade. We were like writing checks and stuff,
Yeah.
like writing checks and stuff.
And even that, it was only half a year.
Yeah, exactly. That was a half year course. Mind you, I still know how to write a check, but I don't really remember anything else we talked about in that class. That's the only thing
We
I
wrote
remember.
checks and watch a TV show.
Yeah, that's what I remember from that course. I don't remember anything else. Um so it's kind of tough that they don't teach you, or at least reinforce the things like life skills and things of that nature.
I disagree, but only in the sense that um I think it's nuanced though, because it's like people say that, but and that might be a class that's more beneficial for seniors. But I'm thinking about how a lot of people in school were either trying to get a good grade or didn't care at all. So I'm like, if they tried to explain taxes to you, which is not an interesting subject by any means, how many people would actually listen to that and actually retain the information given to them? But what I think high school does do a good job of is teaching you how to learn, um, teaching you how to think critically. Because if you break down like math and solving math problems, it's teaching you how to think critically, right? If you break down, um, English and like, those reading exams, they're teaching you how to look for deeper meanings within things, art, music is teaching you creatively, your science classes, your history classes, proper research methods, how to find answers to questions that you might have. So the backbone of all these different subjects is all skills that you take those and just apply those to anywhere else, and you're capable of picking up anything that you would need to learn.
So a lot of that is fair. The thing about like an English course, right? That I always hated, and I feel like we talk about a lot. I don't know if we mentioned it on this before, but like you talk about finding deeper meaning in certain things, right? Whether it be a book, whether it be a poem, a movie, whatever you're looking at that point, or studying, or whatever the case may be, you'll find a deeper meaning. But then when you talk about it in class, your teacher, your professor, whatever you want to call them, they're looking for a particular meaning. They're not necessarily looking for the one that you found.
Yeah.
They're looking for the general consensus of what people think this meant, or this line, or this whole thing. Yeah, what the author meant. Like y'all met him and he told y'all. Like, but when you come up with something, it's like, oh, like I like that, but it's not quite what I'm looking for. Like, bro, then I'm just not gonna answer, because I'm not gonna be thinking on the lines of the author at this particular time in life. Because usually these authors are at a different point in life. They had a particular reason for writing this. We're never gonna know what their reasoning was. We're always going to assume that we know what their thought process was. Maybe it was just an accident that this word and this word happened to rhyme at this particular juncture in the poem, right? Or maybe it just happens to be a coincidence that there's a double meaning here. But we're never going to know that. But if I point something out, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be what you're looking for. So stuff like that, just about English class, I didn't like.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
When you talk about math, your theory that it teaches you critical thinking is correct, but I think that in theory it's correct, but then when you put it into practice,
Oh my gosh.
right?
Not the in theory again.
It's when you put it into practice, you learn critical thinking to a certain point, but then when you start incorporating the entire alphabet into math, and then it gets more and more complicated for no reason, and you're not going to be able to use this in life, right? It's like, okay, I'm trying to think critically, fine. But if I'm struggling to figure it out, and then your way of explaining it to me is not good, or at least you're trying your best, but you're not relating to me in a way that I can figure it out, why would I end up wanting to keep trying to think critically?
That's not math. The concept of math or school, that's not their fault if the teachers can't convey the material adequately.
That's their job.
Yeah,
That's their job. That they have one job is to teach you, and the struggle of their job is trying to relay it in a way that you can understand.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean the concept is faulty.
I didn't say the concept is necessarily faulty. I think to a point, like with math, when you get up to Calc AB, when I have to figure out the exponential arc of this graph and then figure out 2x to the nth power divided by pi times 57.7 divided by the square root of pi to the 10th. It gets to a point where it's like, you don't need to do this. It's like, if you want to do that for a living, cool. Let those people do it. But you ain't got to do that to me where I don't want to be there. Again, in theory, that's fine. But now, if you're taking this class, but you don't want to take this class, and you're not good at the class, but you're like getting by, then it looks bad on you when you go to applying to college. But that doesn't mean that you're not necessarily a smart person, or whatever your trade happens to be or what you want to be in is something that you're not good at. It just means that particular thing, it may not be your thing. That's why I say, in theory, yeah, it teaches you to think critically. But what if you're able to think critically in different things?
I understand what you're saying, and I disagree. And the reason why I disagree is because number one, part of critical thinking is it's not easy. It's not regurgitating the information that you know. It's taking the information that you know, right, and the concepts that you know, and now kind of extrapolating that to get to the necessary conclusion that you need to draw, right? And so, number one, math can always get tricky with people because it's not something that relies on memory. You have to put in like the work, right? And so when you get to the more complicated fields of math and stuff like that, where that's part of the process. Like there's going to be situations in life that's not going to be easy to figure out what the answer is. You have to sit there and wrestle with it. You have to sit there and struggle with the problem to figure out how you're going to draw that. And so that's part of the process of critical thinking, and I think that's necessary to learn. And then also too, where I disagree is that partly in fault to the school system, but I do think that um, number one, going into these higher levels and getting into more complicated things helps to show people that they can learn more theoretical concepts and understand that more deeply, right? Which is also important because there's a lot of things in life that are theoretical that aren't necessarily physical, that you can't see it, that you can't picture it, mental map it in your brain, and figure it out. You have to, you know what I mean? You have to kind of go off of that. So I think that's important. And I think a lot of people just have gaps in their understanding where if you don't understand, like for example, if you don't understand addition thoroughly, multiplication is going to confuse you. You know what I mean? And then if you don't understand multiplication thoroughly because your understanding of addition is missing some things or you're not solidified in that, then when you get to exponents, now you're lost. You're like, oh, this makes no sense. But if you filled that gap in your addition and had that solid, multiplication makes sense. And when multiplication makes sense, now exponents, oh, that's not as bad as I thought it was. And so, like, I remember watching a TED talk about this guy talking about rocket science. And he was basically just saying that, like, we can learn a lot of things that we think we can't. And some people are more naturally suited towards, I agree with that, that some people are naturally suited towards different things. And I think there's different kinds of intelligences. Um, but that's a whole different system because I think colleges and the higher learning processes don't really value those other kinds of intelligences, and our modern world don't really value those other kind of intelligences. So that's different. I think that's not necessarily the school system's fault. I think that's a product of society at a large right now where we're at. But a lot of people can learn things that they're not naturally suited towards. It's just they have to make sure that they're fully understanding things thoroughly as they move on from concept to concept. And so that's kind of why I disagree with you.
Let me just say this and I'll get to you, Bizarro, because I know you haven't got a chance to say anything. I just don't want to forget what I'm about to say. I do agree with you what you're saying, but the part where I'm getting to is that I think with everything there's a limit and there's an extent to everything. So when you going back to what you were saying about thinking critically, right? I think at that point where everything becomes like out of this world complicated, like 11th, 12th grade, right? Um, Junior and senior in high school, right? I think at that point, the fact that you made it that far, you should be able to think critically in some aspect, right? But now, if if I'm not if I feel because I'm supposed to know myself at that point, if I'm not suited to this, right? Like whatever the class may be in the higher level, if I'm not suited to that, it's just something that like it doesn't, I'm just not really great at it. I'm not bad at it, but I'm not great at it. And it's only gonna be a negative if I do it because I don't think I can be good at it because I know for all this time I haven't been good at it. And I just don't think some switch is gonna flip as it gets more complicated. Now, if I drop it and take an easier course because I just don't take to that, then that kind of looks bad on me because I'm not taking the higher level. That's why I say, like, for high school, like, yeah, good and bad, right? There's the good, it teaches you things that teaching like critical thinking, but then it's bad where it's like, well, at this point, I understand that I can think critically, but just there's a level to where I just won't, not necessarily won't get it, but it just won't, I won't take to it, or it's not going to be, I'm not going to be as effective in this position as I would be in something else. Or maybe there's a type of translation where whatever it is I'm good at, and that's complexity, is on a similar level to the complexity of something else, but because I don't take to that, I won't really be great at thinking critically there, but I can think critically on that type of level just in this different field. So that's my point. That is like there's an extent to everything. There's an end point to most things. There's exceptions to every rule. And that's where I think the good and bad comes into.
Okay. I just don't think it's the school's fault that higher learning and career and stuff don't see it that way.
I'm
It's
not
not their
saying it's
fault.
necessarily the school's fault. I'm just saying that in school there's good and there's
I
bad.
just think they emphasize it too much. Like, it's like by senior years, like you know where you're going, like you know who you want to do. And I'm like I said, there's some people that do, doctors, nurse, whatever. So other people that might be like, oh, you don't want to know, and like they'll say that's okay, but they're really they're like, you should know by now, basically. Like you gotta get ahead. You got like a year left or a few months left, whatever.
No, that's so true because I kind of faced that pressure when I was choosing my college because I didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do, or at least what I wanted to study, which is why a lot of people go into their first year undecided, which is actually pretty smart because you get to do your gen eds and you still get to figure out um, what you want to do. So you're not necessarily behind. Um, but, it's around like, I think the beginning of May is the cutoff point, like when you have to make your decision and send in your deposit. So I didn't pick a school, I didn't pick a major, anything like that. And I'm like trying my best because I'm trying to figure out what really works for me. I'm trying to map it out. This and the third, like I'm 18 years old. I don't know what's going on. I don't know, where I'm gonna be or whatever. I'm just trying to get some type of a leg up, try and figure out what's good for me and what I'm good at. And you're not always gonna be able to figure that out just by looking at a major, right? But then it's like, my dad, he has to pay the deposit and everything. He's like, yo, you have to pick your school. I gotta send the deposit. You gotta do this. So I was more pressured because of that to choose a school and to choose my major and everything, even though I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. Mind you, it worked out well, I would say, but it's just sometimes you're not necessarily gonna know. And I think part of it is that in high school you're thrown at so many different things, but not necessarily thrown into things that would necessarily put you in those real life situations. Because it's like, you have your math, science, English, social studies, right? Those are your core, right? But there are only a handful of jobs that really, or careers that, you take that as your foundation, right? Medical field and anything with like medical field is like science and math, architect is like math. um if you want to be some type of scientist, science and math, right? But then there's so many other things, right? Like me being a business guy, there weren't really any business courses outside of like a couple electives, right? So that's the thing that I look at. It's like when I look at good and bad, you have your foundation of stuff, which is fine, but then you're not getting exposed to a little bit of everything that can be out there in the real world.
So I disagree again. Oh,
After this, we're gonna have to dead it because
yeah,
this.
yeah. Let me just get these.
Nah, you good, man. You
Let me just
good.
get these 2 points off. So to kind of bring it back to what you were saying, I feel like, all right, to bring it back to the critical thinking point, just real quick.
Yeah, that's cool.
I feel like from my experience in the workplace, that what you were kind of talking about, how like, oh, I'm not good in this area, so I should probably take something easier in that area and go here where my strength is. Right? That's fair, but that's not what people want in the workplace. And when you're working jobs, I feel like school is actually kind of a little bit more um preparing you for that, because when you're working jobs, not every aspect of your job is going to be your strength, right? And in fact, especially for people in our age group, young people entering the workforce, They want to see people who are learners and who want to grow themselves as people. I know constantly when I was working, they would always tell us, like, if there's a field you think you're weak in, ask for more work in that field. Tell them, hey, I feel like this isn't my strength. Can I get more stuff here? So that way you can grow that skill set and get better at it. Or, you're going to get asked to do things that's not your strength, and you're going to have to figure out how to do it. Right. And so it's like, I might suck at calculus, right? And it might be easier for me to take stats instead of calc. But me taking calc, I have to wrestle with it and kind of learn. And I might never be great at calculus, but at least I grew that skill set versus me playing it safer and taking something like stats where I'm not necessarily growing myself as a person. And then the second thing, I you know talking about how, like, schools kind of have put this pressure on you that you have to know what you want to do. I disagree with that because I think that's more of a societal pressure and how we define success and how we define certain things. Like, we always highlight the person that's a millionaire at 25, highlight the person that, has a master's degree at 23, highlight the person who's working at this big company, out of college and all that kind of stuff, and who's starting this business out of school. But those are the exceptions. That's not the rule. You know what I mean? And if you look at the data, a lot of it says that, like, most successful businesses are started by people in their 40s because they have experience in their field and they understand it well enough where they can create something that'll be successful for that field. But we tend to highlight the young people that are successful, as they should be, because it's uncommon. But that kind of creates this definition of success. And I think, like, even like, for your example, I feel like a good amount of the pressure you was feeling was stemming from your parents, not necessarily what you were seeing in school every day. For example, like, I know for me, a lot of the pressure for me to figure out what I wanted to do was coming from, my parents and my family, not necessarily, in school. But I do agree that because in high school, part of what defines a successful or a good high school, part of that they look at their college rates, like how many the percentage of kids they send off to school, right? So if you take that gap year, if you, I don't know if trade schools necessarily counted. I don't believe it is, but that's part of how it's defined as, like, what a good high school is. And because of that, they're incentivized to kind of funnel you into that school, into that college university life. So I do agree on that point. I just feel like there's a lot of pressure from society for you to know what your life is all about at 18. When I think most people will tell you themselves that nobody knows. Almost nobody knows what their life is about at 18.
Not at all. No.
So it's interesting that we kind of perpetuate it, but we all disagree with it, the
Yeah.
notion of it.
I got a question for us. Do you think, like, how everything's basically a grade, like either 100 to whatever, passing that? Do you think that helps or hurt? Because, like you said, like we should be like, I'm not good at calculus, so but I want to better myself, right? But because
Yeah,
there's a grade to it, you're thinking I'm not good at this. I'm gonna get a bad grade. I'll switch to stats because my grade will be better.
yeah,
So do you think that helps or hurts students, school, current, currently in high school and then moving forward because they think that's what college is going to be, a grade, and then essentially life, except it's not a grade. It's if you fail, you're essentially fired, basically.
yeah. No, I think it can help and it can hurt depending on the person. But it's just these situations are hard because we complain a lot about the school system, and I think rightfully so. I think there are issues. The hard part is there's not a better solution, I think, out there. because everybody learns differently. Everybody picks up things differently. So either we say forget school and we have a teacher a 1-to-1 ratio where we have one teacher with one student for everything they need to learn, so we can tailor it to how you learn best, which is just we don't have the people, the funds, the resources to do that. Or it's like we have to standardize, right? And the process of standardization is it's not going to work for everybody. We're trying to work and make it work for as many people as possible. So there are going to be people who it hurts, you know, but that's just the nature of how things kind of work. And so it kind of sucks. I know that's not a full answer to your question,
I get it.
but my answer is it really depends.
Because like I see it as like we focus so much on like getting those, what was it, 65 and you pass basically. So you're just focused on that. You know what I mean? But like
Yeah.
what you're saying is we should better ourselves. It's like no, because we know we only have four marking periods, which is like 10 months of
Yeah.
school, right? Which sounds like a lot, but it's really not because we did sections. Remember, it'd be like 3 weeks of like multiplication, then the next 3 weeks is division. So you're doing different stuff. And then
Yeah.
say you're good at multiplication, you move on, then division, you're having a hard time. Then after 3 weeks, it's whatever, PEMDAS, some shit like that.
No, I get what you're saying, because it's like we become very performance based rather than like, I don't know. But it's hard though, because in a lot of ways, society is all about what you do for me lately.
Yeah. And I can see it being a negative if there wasn't a grading, because then people would just be like, I'm not going to fail. There's no grading system.
So, it's a
Okay, there we go.
Like it's like a dicey situation. I feel like too much like grading is pressure, but then not grading is like carefree.
Yeah.
Like I don't know where the balance would be, right?
So what we're saying is defund the schools.
Just send everyone to the military. We're heading that way.
Now we gotta go back to whatever trade your parents learned. They gotta teach you that.
That's another thing I want to bring up. Should there be?
Oh no. I don't want to go into the fashion business. My dad, listen, what my dad used to do is so creative and so artistic.
You just don't have it.
I don't want to do that ever in life. Like, I grew up watching this, and that was one thing I knew. Like, if there was one thing I knew was I didn't want to do that. Like, that was it. I was never gonna do that ever in life. I was never gonna be part of it. I didn't want to be part of it. We had so many arguments, so many fights with me being part of it. I have so many bad memories. I didn't want to be part of it.
Hated it.
Imagine coming home, your assignment for tonight, tailor these pants.
Like, bro, nah, because what he used to do is that
It's actually mad cool.
Yeah, it is. In theory, it's mad cool.
Oh my god, this dude loves that phrase.
In theory, it's mad cool. So when you go into like a store or something, like a clothing store, and they got the clothes on like a mannequin right there.
Yeah.
Right? Not the plastic, like the actual, like the one with the fabric on it. My dad used to make those. Right? So underneath the fabric is, at least when he did it, underneath the fabric is paper mache. So he used to like mold it. Like there used to be a particular mold, and he used to do it custom made for people. So people would have like particular measurements and stuff, and he has to shape the mold to fit that person, so that now when it's finished and it has the fabric and stuff off of them, because it would be like usually celebrities and stuff, or like for colleges or something, whatever the case may be, fashion colleges, whatever. Whenever the person, like if you did a person, would need, if they're busy when they need to do like a fitting or something, they never needed to go. They never to actually physically be there. They could just use the mannequin. So what he used to do is like actually do it custom made. He would have to do the molding and everything. And it was mad like cool in theory. But that takes the entire day to do a whole bunch of those. I
So
couldn't
it's a
stand being
job.
there. Yeah, like I couldn't stand it. Like it's very artistic, very creative, real cool in theory,
Oh my god.
but in actuality, I could never see myself doing that. I never liked
Yeah.
being there or doing it or anything, and it was just a
Just like
lot.
playing with the models, right?
You know, listen, I'm not. We're not saying nothing like that, but um, it was something that he liked and something he was really good at. He was definitely better than everybody else that used to try to do those things because everybody used to like to try and take shortcuts and stuff. And he was very talented in his craft. He found something that he liked that he could do better than most people.
You gotta learn. It's in your bloodstream.
Nah, see, like, no, it's not. That wasn't in the cards for me. It wasn't there. I couldn't do that.
But like
But
going back to a trade, should that be more emphasized in schools? Like I know they had wood shop or tech, whatever they call it, technology, right?
we had technology and then home and career.
That was
It was half
should
and
like
half.
mechanics be part of schools?
We have a mechanics program. Well, now they
No,
do.
we didn't. But like,
Yeah, we
Now
did.
they do.
They
Our-
had STEM,
Our
but
school kind of spoils us, low key.
what you mean?
Like they're actively adding more.
Oh, well, now,
programs
yeah.
they spoil us.
Not
They have
us.
against
Yeah.
spoil.
No, but even we had a lot of stuff that like a lot of city schools don't have bands to be able to play music.
But like
Where would they
we had a
go?
cooking class. A lot of city schools don't have that.
a lot of other stuff like that. Like it was like remember BOCES? Like
What?
that was more like
What?
Even
you don't know
even
BOCES?
something like BOCES, a lot
What's
of other
that?
schools don't have.
What's BOCES?
It's basically like they had a whole bunch of kind of career focused classes where
like the kids that would leave school.
if you were a senior,
uh-uh.
you would leave school like the first 4 periods of the day and go to like that facility, and you're doing stuff like based on whatever career class
See, that's what I
you
think high
signed
school
up
should
for.
do.
Like they had a
Interesting.
But
game
it's basically
design
a whole
one,
different program.
and then they would, you'd hop on the bus and they take you back, and then you go to the rest of your classes.
Okay.
But I'm saying that to say, like, our school had a lot of things that other schools, it's not necessarily reflective of
Yeah.
what
But I
your
mean,
average school might have.
that's fair, but I mean, I was never in band, so that didn't affect me. I wasn't in chorus, so that didn't
And
affect
honestly, the
me.
band
It sounds like you should have been outside more.
That's a different conversation.
Like you said, band is just
What
like
clubs were you a part of?
band was just like a sport. It was just another way like you could put on a
Got 'em.
resume, basically.
I wasn't in no clubs. I wasn't.
You could get you could get scholarships for band.
I know, but like
Listen, I wasn't playing no instrument. I wasn't playing no sport.
Yes, so you was
I was
You
not.
was the problem, not school.
I wasn't.
oh,
Nah.
I'm not gonna lie. I did not apply myself, but still, I'm just saying.
No way. Not a bunch of people hate him from the bleacher.
I wasn't even in the bleachers.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
I wasn't at the games. I did
saying,
not have school spirit like that. I was there to do my work and go home.
I did some of that stuff senior year.
Senior year, legit. Like I went to some stuff, but
No
before
way.
that, it didn't mean nothing to do that. It didn't have any meaning to do these things. Yeah, like it had no effect on my future. If you scored the touchdown, what was that doing for me? If you got that pin in wrestling, what was that doing for me?
You could have been the one scoring the touchdown.
No.
I
Do
will say,
I
though,
look like somebody who could have been scoring a
I will
touchdown?
say, though, all the things, I'm surprised you never tried out for basketball because you just loved it so much back then.
I did that in middle school though, and then after that, I was always 5'3", 100 pounds. Like
they were a little biased who they picked. Yeah.
I was like, I wasn't.
Like you
I
could
wasn't
be asked
doing
and
that.
they still pick the tallest guy, bro.
Yeah, 100%. And it's happened. It's not like it didn't happen.
You know, it's not like the movies where like you try your hardest, you might not be the best, but you're a good teammate.
Yeah.
They can feel like you're good, like you're a good player around. We're not picking you.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's what it was. If you couldn't score or if you couldn't get a rebound, you wasn't on the team.
Life ain't like the movies.
It's not, bro. Like it wasn't Hoosiers, bro. Like it just. But
yet they still suck. So like who cared? Like,
yeah, exactly. But I mean that's life, right?
So to sum it all up, I'll say like I'm not gonna say high school is a fraud, but I do think there's some aspects of it that don't apply to the future necessarily. And in the end, just kind of enjoy it. Like, I don't want to see another Mike. This guy would
Friend of the show.
Yeah, he basically wouldn't do anything like outside of school, right? I mean, you guys would know better than me. Like, I don't know. Like, I
What are you
did.
looking at me for? I'm not. Let Bizarro finish his point.
I feel like Michael's outside.
He would have been outside more if he had.
He would have been outside more, yeah, 100%.
And Mike's a cool guy. You want to hang out with Mike, but he probably would have said, "I got to do this." We got this test coming up, something like that, right?
Those bus rides to the games was his links.
This is the only time he could be with his friend.
Michael Bennett on the beat.
Yo.
So what I want to finish is like, just enjoy it. It's 4 years high school, right? Like, maybe don't slack like I did necessarily, but like try to do better for yourself, and then enjoy, and then go to college, and like even that, try not to stress, because like you said, 18, you're not gonna know what you want to do. Most importantly, like, I know we all like money, but don't make your career just based on money. Like, that's just my
100%. Yeah.
Like, I know we joke like, oh, I just want this. Some people just want to be a doctor for the money.
Yeah.
Like, do it because you want to help people, or even like pick
or wanting a Tesla.
Yeah, or just pick a job that will make you happy. If it's low paying, high paying, whatever, just be in the end. Be happy. Just be happy.
Yeah, as long as you can pay your bills and support a family, do what you got to do. That's a bad connotation. Don't just do what you got to do, but you gotta. What Bizarro said.
Yeah. All I'll say is, if you're thinking about college and you don't know what you want to do, try not to put yourself in debt to figure it out. Go to a cheaper school, community, state school.
Right away, because I know someone said switch their major 3 times already, and they're 2 years older than us, a year older than us.
Yeah, so if you can get out with as little debt as possible,
what?
You're just giving yourself a leg up. But
oh no, they're not.
But yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can.
I don't know his full story, so you guys would. No, but this person.
Stop.
You know who I was thinking?
I know exactly who you were thinking. That's why I try to talk over you.
I didn't say nothing.
I didn't say a word.
Because, oh my God, now I got what I deserve.
Even just the major part, like my brother, he went to Baruch for business. He didn't like it, so then he went to NASA and he started doing computer science, and he liked that, but he lost a whole semester because he transferred. Like, even that.
Yeah, and they didn't take the credits. Yeah. I hate when schools don't take credits. I've heard people say that, and I'm like, bro, that's so messed up, because it's the same. I don't understand the process. Mm-hmm. I don't understand why it wouldn't work here, but it would work somewhere else. I don't get it.
They try to hit you with the, but like, it's the way different. We teach things is different. So we want to make sure that, if you're
a country, there's a United States school, it should be somewhat similar.
Yeah,
they're like, I don't know, if you're a comp sci major, the way we teach Python, the concepts we want you to know is different from the concepts they want you to know. It's really about money, but
no, I was about to say, it's just they trying to get more money out of you. That's all it is.
And also, I never went into deep with him, but he went from Baruch to Nassau to Queens. 3 schools, 3 different payments, probably.
Yeah. But all in all, stay in school.
Don't do or sell drugs.
Watch the documentary on drugs, and then you'll figure it out. But when you're going to college, if you don't know, that's okay. Go undecided, honestly. Go undecided. Try to figure it out in the first semester, and then you kind of set yourself up there because at least you won't be behind, and then you won't choose something just for the sake of choosing something and then have to switch majors because that's a lot. Like Bizarro was talking about. Make connections with people, high school, college, and after. You never know what these people are gonna do or what they're gonna be, and who could help you in the future. Try to go after something that you're good at, more so what makes money, quote unquote. Because even for me, I went to college for marketing, and now in this past 2 months where I have this internship, my career path has completely changed. Or at least for this point. I mean, I have marketing to fall back on, but now I'm like pursuing something that was completely out of the realm of possibility 4 years ago. Even a few months ago, before this internship, it wasn't in the realm of possibility. So you never know how life changes. You'll probably go to college for something, and then after a while realize that maybe I'm good at it, but maybe there's something else that I like, and then you want to do that. So it's a lot. So just be careful, be calculated, but don't try to stress it. Don't try to force it too much.
Yeah, and if desperate times call, just starting OnlyFans. Honestly, that's the world we're in today. If you think about it.
All right, guys. We hope you enjoyed.
What type of OnlyFans are we talking about?
I don't know, whatever you think will make the most money.
Guy or girl?
Whatever. I don't know.
Nah, because there are people that have OnlyFans that they don't do nothing
there's
crazy.
Creeps in the world that want a picture of your foot.
Well, that's what Feet Finder's for. I've heard about that, which is crazy. I don't understand why people would like something like that, or why somebody would create something like that.
We'll save that for another episode.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's weird. Like, why hashtag a big hashtag? Why would somebody create something like that?
All right, guys. We hope you enjoyed the pod.
Bizarro World. Why would somebody create something like that?
Because there's people that are obsessed with that.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a weird world we live in. Don't get too caught up in it. Do your thing and your thing alone. His thing, what he said about OnlyFans, I wouldn't recommend it.
I just said if it comes to desperation time. I'm not saying that should be like the goal.
I'm just saying, like, even in desperate times, always try to hold yourself to a higher standard. Try not to do it. If you have to, like,
keep your options open.
I mean that's a positive way of looking at it, but I mean, it's tough. It's tough. Don't. I mean, listen, get your bread up, but like have some type of standard to making your money. It's just you ain't want to do nothing crazy, because people start looking at you different, and then it's not the way you want to go, in my opinion. But I don't know. I wouldn't know about those things. I don't know if y'all know about those things. It's y'all's business, but.
Yeah, I live under a rock. I just hear from you. I live vicariously through you guys.
No, it can't be me. It can't be me. Yeah, it can't be.
Don't put that on us.
Yeah, yeah, bro.
And that's where you can find me, living under a rock. Because Brendan's always asking, where can the people find you?
We hope you enjoyed the episode, guys. Be sure to leave a like. He's not coming back, so be sure to tune in for episode.
If you want some more entertainment, go on OnlyFans, #BigRenegade. Big hashtag. Yeah.
All right. That's the show. Yeah. So I'm gonna catch you guys. Yeah, we're done.
Later.
He was quiet during that.
All right, bro. All right.